We go now to Nick Blumberg, who has spent the day in equally cold Washington Park on the south side as part of our In Your Neighborhood series. Nick.
Amanda, we're here now with 20th Ward Alderwoman Jeanette Taylor. Thank you for braving a chilly evening with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We know Washington Park, like many parts of the Chicago area, are still dealing with recovery from the COVID pandemic. And there are some areas where the vaccination rate is still lagging, that we're trying, officials are trying to boost that. What do you think the city and community leaders can do to try and get that up?
So let's talk about health despite talking about a vaccine, because this is like any other thing that has happened to us, the flu, chicken pox, other things. And so let's teach people how to take care of themselves. I honestly had COVID and the flu at the same time, and so thanks to me having this great insurance, I was able to keep in contact with a health provider. There are some things that they told me that I could do to take care of myself, and while I still can't taste or smell, I'm grateful to be alive. Was never on a ventilator, any of those things. And so you're talking about a community that's been disinvested in, that doesn't trust government, and so we're gonna have to work hard. It's not gonna be easy lift to get folks vaccinated or to get them healthy.
Yeah, but it's got to be an education process,
most
a
definitely.
conversation.
It has to be. That should have been the first thing that we talked about, is how you taking care of yourself healthy, how we getting fresh food options, how we drinking more water than anything, because if you don't take care of yourself in wellness, you'll definitely have to an illness.
And, talking about communities that have faced disinvestment, you did a lot of work with the Woodlawn area trying to make sure that there wouldn't be displacement with the Obama Presidential Center, long awaited. Finally, you had the groundbreaking for that. Are there any concerns that you have about displacement issues in Washington Park?
Of course, the 20th Ward as a whole. So one of the things that I want to work with the city on is a trust to help long-term homeowners, because a lot of folks in the community own their property now. The problem now is property tax increase. And so how are we helping those long-term homeowners, and also how we having affordable housing options, which is always a problem in our communities. And so this will be my effort to work with the city to give more options to the folks who actually live here. We welcome people to come, because we got 4,000 vacant lots in the ward, 2,000 of them are city owned. And so while we welcome people to our community, we want to protect the people who actually live here and chose to live here.
And talking about, support from the city, we've been talking with a lot of different community leaders, business owners today, as businesses are trying to recover from COVID. What are some of the things that you're looking for support from the city?
So usually that's SPIF dollars and TIF dollars to make sure that we support the owners who are currently here, but also making a path for business owners to move into the community.
And just yesterday we had a city council meeting. There was a measure approved for the new, sort of gang database, a replacement for a very controversial program that exists now. You voted against the measure yesterday. What are some of your concerns about that?
So first of all, the gentleman who was my first ward superintendent, who actually got hired but left because of the balance, actually couldn't get a carry and conceal for picking up a relative from the county, and he did not know he was on the gang database. And so that system that does not work, and we clearly see how it's harmed folks, we need to just disband altogether. And so I'm not going to vote on anything to fix it. You can't fix it. It's just like the juvenile detention center. Those things are broken, and we just need to start fresh with things that we do to make sure that people in our community are protected, and to talk about how do we penalize people who do wrong in our communities.
Alderwoman Jeanette Taylor, thank you so much for spending part of your evening with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
We'll have more from Washington Park coming up a little later on, but for now, Amanda, back to you.
Yeah, wow, Alderwoman Taylor there, I know she had been, I believe, hesitant to get the vaccine at first, but then credits it with keeping her out of the hospital, and still after a COVID case in September, not able to taste or smell. Yikes. Nick, obviously, this ongoing recovery come COVID, a greater community concern. What are some of the other things that you're hearing from residents about what they want in the future?
Well, obviously, there are other community needs. When we were talking with Evelyn Shelton from Evelyn's Food Love earlier, she was saying that she was very intentional about putting her restaurant in this community because, people want to have good fine dining options. They want to have these sorts of nice things. And in talking, about the Obama Presidential Center, people are excited about the prospect of, obviously, they want to hang on to their homes. They don't want to be displaced from their communities. But there's also, some excitement around the prospect for jobs, for economic development, things like that. So there's definitely an eye toward the future as well.
Thanks for that, Nick. We appreciate it. Food love, my friend.